Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, three,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Friday as we wrap up the week. Thanks for joining us. It is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. We're in the Health Plan Studios. I'm Kyle Wiggs, joined tonight by Luke Wiggs. We've had rotating co-hosts this week, and it's been fun and different. We got Luke tonight. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming in.
Happy to be here.
So we're going to get your picks as well. We've been doing this running. I think it's kind of funny that the Big 12 doesn't do a preseason media poll anymore.
Take some ownership. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since the team that got picked to finish last a couple of years ago won the league, so they just scrapped the whole thing. So we've kind of done our own this week. So we've got picks from Joe Bricado, Kevin Kinder, Greg Carey, and myself. So we'll add yours to that, and we'll come up with a poll on this Friday by the end of the show.
Well, I hope you're ready for me to talk about the Colorado Buffalo being the Big 12 champions this year.
Exactly. Or Iowa State. But anyway, it's completely worthless. It's probably been a colossal waste of time this week, but we've had fun with it. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll continue on. The big news today, though, former Mountaineer J.J. Wetherholt gets a massive contract extension as a rookie with the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, this has been a trend, if you follow baseball, young players being locked up to multi-year deals for 9 figures. And, of course, the Pirates did it with Connor Griffin earlier this season. Now, Griffin came right out. He was drafted right out of high school. JJ, of course, went to college for 3 years at West Virginia and is 23. McGonigal of Detroit got a big extension. There's been a few others. So he's older than these guys at 23 years old. But again, an 8-year deal worth 9 figures. It's, I believe, what is it, $120 million?
$112.5 million.
Okay. But it could escalate to as much as $132. Now, this is obviously it's enormous. It's life-changing money. It's generational money for him. But it's something the Cardinals just don't do very often. Now, they've kind of entered a new era, and they have no one, literally no one on the team right now that's on a long-term contract. They're completely rebuilding. They traded all their contracts with Sonny Gray and Arenado and Brendan Donovan and Wilson Contreras. Everybody who was on a long-term contract got traded in the offseason. And this is only the 4th 9-figure contract they've handed out. The others being, most recently, Paul Goldschmidt, who was a NL MVP.
Hall of Famer.
Of course, Albert Pujols, who was a generational type guy.
Hall of Famer.
And a top 10 or 15 or 20 player of all time. And Matt Holliday was the other one.
Probably not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of pretty good.
Now,
That's good company to be in.
It seems like the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets sign once or twice a year they hand out a
They got
nine-figure.
relievers making
exactly.
9-figure
now,
contracts.
that could be a reason why the Cardinals have fallen behind here the last couple of years. And they've got a lot of work to do because they've got a great young nucleus, and JJ's the first guy there to get big money. Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson, Herrera,
Jordan Walker.
Jordan Walker's a huge one who's going to be an MVP candidate this year. So the process begins of building an entire franchise, a legacy franchise like the Cardinals around J.J. Wetherholt.
And like you said, this has become somewhat normal for Major League Baseball. You mentioned McGonigal, Connor Griffin, Jackson Merrill, Roman Anthony, Pete Crow Armstrong, Colt Emerson, all signing pretty similar contracts, 8-9 years, $110 to $140, $150 million. What's different about JJ's situation to me is he didn't get it. Some of these guys were getting these contracts before they even played Major League games. I think the Cardinals, and like you just said, this is the 4th contract like it's kind, have been so prudent with their money that they wanted to see how good he could be before they hand out this money. And how good has J.J. Wetherholt been? He should have been an all-star. I mean, he's just below a 4-WAR player right now. He's the best defensive second baseman in baseball statistically. He's one of the best defenders in baseball statistically. Great base runner. He's got power. You know, he's starting to hit off-speed pitching. That was a problem early. Started off so well because he was just grooving fastballs. Then he started to see a lot of off-speed. He had his first, kind of tenuous couple of weeks, and then he's really rounded into form. I mean, he's one of the, as we stand today, it's not hyperbolic. If you look at a 3.9 WAR, it's 20 or 30 most valuable players to their team right now. I'd like to see him continue that pace. That's an MVP-level pace, but more than deserved for him. He's somebody that has hit and performed at every level. And, we were sitting around this time a couple of years ago when he got drafted. And, of course, we were excited that it was a Mountaineer. But we were also excited as Cardinal fans because he's just a perfect Cardinal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that kind of organization's player.
And, again, what has been a little bit – not really. It's not surprising to me because we've seen what he accomplished here and we've kind of witnessed and heard about the work that he's put in defensively. But obviously a shortstop in college, he's not going to play shortstop with the Cardinals because Mason Wynn won the Gold Glove last year.
Right.
So he adjusts to second base and is an absolute elite defender. And again, you see the work that he puts in. We were up there when he came to Pittsburgh. He did his little interview and went immediately out on the field with Stubby Clapp and did about 45 minutes of infield drills. That's one day in the life of J.J. Wetherholt. He's been doing that since spring training in February multiple times a day. The point is he's developed into an elite-level defender, and that's a big reason that WAR number is where it is at this point.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Last time I saw the stat a week ago, he was towards the top, if not leading Major League Baseball in outs above average. So you're 100% right to that point. There's so many different things he does well. He takes the ball to the opposite field. He's a good contact hitter. He's got good awareness of the strike zone, runs the bases. Last I checked, as I have his stats in front of me right now, I don't think he's been thrown out stealing. Yeah, he's a perfect 9 for 9 in stolen base opportunities as well. So it makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals, makes a lot of sense for J.J. Wetherholt. What's cool about a contract like that, you mentioned, 23? I mean, you still technically, you play this out.
Yeah, you got a chance to cash in.
Yeah, you make $100 million.
30,
let's get that out of the way real quick. But you're still in the tail end of your physical prime and have an opportunity. And JJ's one of those kind of guys where his game, there's athleticism that makes his game great, but his game is not just his athleticism. He's got a hit tool and a quickness and a mentality that could keep him as a major league hitter into his late 30s. So this might not be the last big contract that he signs in his career. It makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals, makes a lot of sense for JJ, and he still has an opportunity to make even more money if this works out, 8 years from now.
He's in his, again, some of these other guys that you mentioned, like Connor Griffin, they're going to hit free agency even after these huge extensions. They're going to be in their 20s still when they hit free agency. JJ's a little bit older, but he'll still be in his early 30s when this contract is up. So if he projects like we think he will, he'll have an opportunity to sign perhaps another big one in 8 years when this one is up.
And, if you have money invested in a player, you're going to want to try to play him. It's going to be interesting for WVU Baseball as a brand to have a staple in Major League Baseball for a long period of time. Like Victor Scott's been a little up and down. Michael Grove has been up and down with the Dodgers the last
Jed
couple of
played 8 years.
Well, you're not wrong. Yeah. And how great was that for WVU?
Yeah, absolutely.
To tell you about a Mountaineer named Jed. And, Manoah is somebody else that had a really good year and a half, kind of faded away. He's coming back now. We wish him the best. But to have as good of a guarantee as you can get that you're going to have a West Virginia University Mountaineer on a, blue chip A1, second winningest, program in baseball history. Let's get that out of the way real quick. That's just going to do wonders for WVU. For West Virginia in general, Chase DeLauder homered yesterday, Hedgesville kid. There's a lot of good things going for West Virginia-related people in Major League Baseball. So congratulations to JJ. And, at the end of the day, you're $100 million richer. You still have an opportunity to sign a second contract. And I think a lot of people are going to look really foolish at the end of the year that he wasn't an all-star because he very well should have been. Well,
and again, he's the number one candidate right now for National League Rookie of the Year.
Without a doubt.
The Cardinals haven't had many. You consider yourself a Cardinal historian, right?
Sure.
How many can you name?
How many Cardinal Rookie of the Years have there been? Is Albert the last one?
Albert's the last one. There's been 6. Albert Pujols was the last one. Todd Worrell and Vince Coleman went back-to-back in the mid-'80s.
I should have gotten Coleman.
Bake McBride, the world-famous Bake McBride, and 2 in the 50s, Bill Verdon and Wally Moon. That's it.
You would have lost me with Wally Moon there. I would have been thrown out of the cash cab.
So hopefully JJ is number 7 in terms of Cardinals. By the way, this is at your service on KMOX Radio in St. Louis. We're going to take a break. JJ had a news conference, and we're going to hear a few minutes from him coming up after the break, and still a lot to do. We're going to do our poll with the Big 12, and also Kevin Whiteman. We're going to do a summer check-in with Kevin Whiteman, the head football coach at Frankfurt High School, as back-to-back Class AA state champs. And, of course, that school, talk about a run of athletes. They're going through it. They won another baseball championship, the second in 3 years in baseball, and Frankfurt won that thrilling game against Bluefield to win the AA state championship in Charleston back in December. So we'll do a summer check-in with the head coach of the two-time defending AA state football champs and talk a little bit about how this summer has evolved with the flex days, and different coaches have different philosophies, and we'll kind of get into that as we move along. This is the CityNet statewide sports line, and we're in the Health Plan Studios. We'll take a break. We've got much more to come. Sportsline on this Friday, coming up right after this.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next
WVMetroNews.com. We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
CityNet statewide sports line for this Friday. Thanks for joining us, and a little bit more here on J.J. Wetherholt signing the contract extension with the Cardinals. Then we'll move on. But earlier today, about probably an hour ago, J.J. had a news conference again after the contract was announced. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. And J.J. Wetherholt meeting with the media in St. Louis prior to the Cardinals game tonight against the Atlanta Braves.
Just want to say thank you, obviously, to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Praise be to Him and my family, my mom and my dad who are here, have sacrificed so much to, allow me to play this game that I love for my whole life. My agent Jeff and the Covenant team, Cashin, his son right there, who made the trip at 4:45 this morning to be in here. Those guys have been with me since college, and it's amazing to have staff like that supports you and helps me manage everything that's going on. Ollie has been so great for me, and all the coaches here, including my teammates. Just those guys have been so helpful to help me work, go about my business, to learn what I need to learn, and to just continue to get better and focus on my craft.
With the Cardinals. Texter says, hey, guys, what about Sal Stewart of the Reds in terms of the National League Rookie of the Year? Well, I will say this. A month ago, I thought it would be a slam dunk that Sal Stewart was going to win the thing. He was a runaway leader very early on, but and he's an incredible run producer. Rookie with 19 home runs and 64 RBI leading the Reds. So, yes, I mean, the race is not over. There's no question about that. But you've got, again, the difference. JJ's emerged a little bit with speed and base running and defense, like we talked before.
And to your point, our listeners out in the Panhandle News Network that get to listen to our local sports show heard me say at the beginning of the season that I thought Sal Stewart could be National League Rookie of the Year. But there's just so much more that JJ does well. You get caught up in the counting stats at 19 home runs, and like you mentioned, over 60 RBIs is nothing to sneeze at. But where JJ gets him, because he's over a 2-WAR better player, the defense and the speed, like you said. But what's cool about this, because I know we got a lot of Pirate fans that are listening that love Connor Griffin and want us to bring him up, Sal Stewart for the Reds fans. it's going to be annoying as a Cardinal fan to see those guys get 40-plus at-bats against my team every single season. But Connor against J.J. Wetherholt is an interdivision rivalry that can just be a blast. It can be, Darryl Strawberry versus Vince Coleman for the Cardinals and the Mets in the 80s. Sal Stewart's right on top of that, too. I like that there's a lot. Jacob Mizorowski, is Paul Skeens. Yeah. These are guys that in the National League Central, that's been one of the more slept-on divisions in Major League Baseball the last couple of years. Everybody's starting to get guys. And it's kind of fun to see them now go out and compete against each other. I'm biased as a Mountaineer and a Cardinal fan. I wouldn't take Connor Griffin or Sal Stewart over J.J. Wetherholt. I'm happy where I'm at, but I imagine some textures might feel a little bit differently, as they should.
Yeah, I mean, again, Stewart's having an incredible year.
Absolutely.
In terms of a run-producing player, and he may, first month of the season, he was hitting about 320. Again, it looked like he was going to run away with the thing.
He does run, which is weird. I think he has double-digit steals right now, but he doesn't play a high-profile defensive position at a high-profile way like J.J. Wetherholt does, so he's going to have some advantages over him in the WAR category there.
304 Talk 304. Again, Kevin Whiteman of Frankfurt High School coming up in just a bit. Okay, we've been having fun with this Big 12 Conference preseason media poll. They wouldn't take one in Texas, so we're doing one here in West Virginia. So, Luke, as we've had about a half dozen co-hosts this week, and we've allowed them all to pick how they think the standings will shake out in the Big 12 Conference. So your thoughts on this? Let's start with number 16.
Well, I kind of tiered it out. I put it in 4 different tiers, and I think that it could be any number of teams to me that finish towards the bottom of the conference, and I hate to be unoriginal, but I do have Colorado down there. Deion Sanders, if I'm correct, it's been 3 offensive coordinators and 3 defensive coordinators in 3 seasons. I think that Brennan Marion is an interesting name. I know that obviously Julian Lewis is there at quarterback, but there's just so much weirdness going on with that program. They got a long hill to climb out of, so I've got them 16th.
Okay.
And moving up from there, Iowa State, you got a first-year head coach there with Jimmy Rogers. I've got them 15th. They lost 55 transfers, of course, with what was going on in the offseason, losing the coach to Penn State. I'm interested in the quarterback transfer they got from Arkansas State. Rayner, I think's the guy's name, over 7,000 yards over the last couple of years, but just not enough to move the needle for me. Kansas, I have down at 14. I really like Dylan Edwards, the transfer running back from Kansas State, but you look at Ballard, Marshall, Jenkins, the 3 guys that are probably going to battle out in that quarterback room. That's going to be one of the bottom QB rooms in the conference, so just not enough to raise the ceiling for me there. Scott Frost's UCF, I've got 13th. I think that their secondary is going to be pretty good, and Alonzo Barnett I liked a lot at JMU, but you talk about somebody that's going to have some growing pains at the quarterback position, and they got a transfer coming in at running back from Duke Watson from Louisville that I like as well, but still just not enough to move the needle for me there. I've got Scott Satterfield, Cincinnati, 12th. It's been interesting for Satterfield. You look at the first 3 seasons for him, a 3-9 record, a 5-7 record, and a 7-6 record would make you think that this is the year for them to jump up and maybe compete for the conference. But obviously, you had the Sorsby weirdness in the offseason. They do return a good portion of that offensive line. They got a new defensive coordinator from Army that I like, but just not enough to move the needle for me there. Baylor, I have 11th. This really feels like a put-up or shut-up season for Dave Aranda. I mean, he's been there for 7 years, and he feels like he's been on the hot seat the last 5. DJ Lagway is an interesting quarterback. If he's not throwing the ball to the other team, he's a very good player. But I just have doubts. There was a stat I wrote down, I think it came from ESPN, had 16 different players play 200 snaps or more on offense, and only 3 of them are back. And they did not win a single game where they didn't score 30 points. And neither of those things are necessarily recipes for success. So I kind of have that as my bottom tier, 11 through 16. I could see those kind of shaking out either way. I move into that third tier, and that's where I currently have West Virginia. I think you're going to have one of the better rushing attacks in the Big 12. I think you're going to be better in the trenches. Nick Cray was somebody that was brought up at Big 12 Media Day. I think is going to be better. Have some doubts about the wide receiver room beyond Bray. Have some doubts about what the front line is going to look like. I think West Virginia has an opportunity to get better and better and better. Scotty Fox in the second season, or if we get to see Michael Hawkins, I think can give them just a different spark at the quarterback position. But a lot of these polls are picking them 15th, 14th, 16th. And I don't think it's unreasonable to have him 10th right now. I've got Arizona State at 9. I really like Kenny Dillingham. He's in the upper third, I would say, of coaches in the conference, and I like what they did in the transfer window. I mean, they had 16 different players from Power 4 conferences come in. But I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Mikey Keene He didn't look good in the limited snaps he played last year. That's just a position that doesn't necessarily inspire confidence in me. I've got TCU 8th, Sonny Dykes in his 5th season. I like the new offensive coordinator that they brought in Gordon Sams. Thought he made UConn look really good. Their leading rushers back in Jeremy Payne. It just really feels like one of those mid-table teams. 7th, I've got Kansas State. I really think the Colin Klein hire is going to work. I just don't necessarily know if it's going to go right away. He's somebody that's won the Big 12 as an offensive coordinator. He's won the Big 12 as a quarterback. He helped take Texas A&M to the college football playoff. But the problem I have with Kansas State and just about everybody else that would have them lower ranked like myself is Avery Johnson at quarterback. I just think that he's limited in terms of his ceiling. Only have one starter back on the offensive line, so 7th feels right for them. Arizona, I have 6th. Noah Fafita, I think he was the preseason all-conference quarterback.
Yes.
I think he is probably going to be the top quarterback in this class, but you lose your top rusher, you lose your top 2 receivers. You only have 2 defensive starters back that really played a lot for you. So I think that's going to cap what Arizona can do. But I do think that there's going to be some talent on that offensive line. The right tackle they got back from medical redshirt, so I have them 6th. Then I move into that 3rd tier, I guess. I've got 3 teams in it. Oklahoma State I like, and I imagine I'm going to like them a lot more than the other people that you've had do this poll.
That's a true statement.
Eric Morris is in his 1st season, and what I'll say is this, and I'm not trying to get too extreme. If anybody is going to be that first-year head coach that has a crazy season, that Indiana-type season, it's going to be Eric Morris and the players that he brought over from North Texas. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think 8 wins is certainly a possibility. Drew Mestemaker threw for over 4,000 yards. I think they brought 21 players in from that North Texas team offensively and defensively. So, you have a lot of work to do for Oklahoma State. You're talking about a team that gave up 418 yards a game last year, but Wyatt Young comes over at receiver, Mestemaker. I would say, again, I think Fafita is the number 1 and most talented quarterback in the conference, but I think Mestemaker is going to give him a run for his money. I've got Houston 4th, Willie Fritz. I think Willie Fritz might just be the best pure coach in the conference, and I think that Houston is set for good things in these next couple of years. Have my doubts about Connor Wegman. He's somebody else that took really good care of the football after coming over from A&M. It's clear he wasn't really built for the SEC, but the Big 12 can certainly be for him. I really like their offensive coordinator, and I think that they might have the best trench play in the conference, not named Texas Tech. I've got Utah 3rd. Morgan Scaley is another first-year head coach, longtime defensive coordinator, and I thought that Whittingham left some interesting pieces for him offensively. I would like to think that Scotty Fox is going to lead the conference in rushing or Michael Hawkins is going to lead the conference in rushing. But if it's not them, it's going to be Devin Dampier. And Wayshawn Parker's a 1,000-yard upside guy. They got Braden Pagan's a big wide receiver from Utah State who I really like. So I've got Utah 3rd. Takes me to that top tier. And unsurprisingly, I've got BYU and Texas Tech in it. I've got BYU 2nd. Kalani Sitake, like I just said, I think Willie Fritz is probably the best coach in the conference, but Sitake's very, very, very close behind it. Bear Brockmeyer was 3rd in the conference at QBR last year. Finished the year a little shaky. I'd like to see first half Brockmeyer, and if you get that, you are going to get a team that has a possibility of making the college football playoff. Obviously, LJ Martin coming back is huge as well, and 4 starting offense. I mean, how many college football programs have 4 starting offensive linemen back? And then Texas Tech, number 1. Have your doubts about Will Hammond coming back from injury, the Sorsby nonsense. They have turned themselves into the most disliked athletic department in college athletics in about an 18-month period, but they're so darn good. How can you lose David Bailey and Jacob Rodriguez to the NFL and replace them and not skip a beat?
Money, that's how you do it.
Oil money. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
But Texas Tech is number 1 for me.
Okay, so that's interesting. I've been furiously I wrote your picks down. I've been furiously compiling our poll, and I'm about halfway done. So we'll take a break. I'll try and do the rest of the math on that, and then we'll reveal the poll at the end of the show tonight. And we'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll be joined by Kevin Whiteman, Frankfurt High School head football coach. Again, Frankfurt, the 2-time defending state AA champs. And we'll get a summer update with one of the championship teams when we return. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet, probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for checking in. We have that flood watch with us through Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. Widely scattered showers and storms. A couple of isolated strong storms will be possible, mainly south into this upcoming weekend. And then heading into next week, it does look drier and warmer. So there's our flood watch again across much of the state through very early Sunday morning. Pockets of heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms, but with the amount of rain that we've had and this lingering front, any additional rain could lead to excessive runoff. Again, there are some isolated severe thunderstorm potential, again, off to the east and to the south, even to the north over the northern panhandle. Again, the wind and hail would be the primary concern with any of these stronger thunderstorms that are with us. Then on Saturday, we'll have some additional scattered thunderstorms. Again, a better chance on Saturday, mainly to the south. Time now for our Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Temperatures will be cooler in the D.C. area this weekend, but showers and thunderstorms in place. Thunderstorms ongoing in Florida. Feels like temperatures there to the triple digits. Our panhandle forecast on Saturday. Readings again into the 80s with those widely scattered storms. 82 in Romney. Moorfield will be at 84 in Petersburg, sitting at 85 degrees. As we head to the south and west, Elkins, Parsons into the upper 70s, Grafton at 79, Clay at 80 degrees, Ripley at 83. So these temperatures certainly not as hot as they were last week, and definitely a little cooler thanks to this shower and thunderstorm potential. Beckley at 76 degrees, Welch 79, and as we head to the north and west up near Charleston, we're at 83 for that high on Saturday. Sunday, again, a few leftover showers and storms, and that chance of rain diminishes as we head into early next week, and we're going to be heating up.
CityNet statewide Sportsline for a Friday night. We're inside the Health Plan Studios, and I have done the math on our very unofficial, virtually useless Big 12 Conference preseason media poll. So we'll reveal that coming up in the next segment after we have a conversation with Kevin Whiteman, head football coach at Frankfurt High School, and Frankfurt with I'm sure, a tremendous offseason coming off another state championship. And, Coach, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what's this been like this summer preparing for a defense of the state championship again?
Well, it's pretty much business as usual, to tell you the truth. I mean, once you win big games or even regular season big games, you know, or even lose, you realize that you got to keep moving forward. You can't look back. And I did take time, I think all of us did, to enjoy both years winning the championship. You know, you got to savor it a little bit because it doesn't happen. So it was awesome. It was unbelievable to do it 2 years in a row. I'm very proud. I'm very ecstatic. Like, it was something I've always dreamed of, something I've always wanted, something that I hoped would happen before my career ended. And I'm very blessed to be part of it. I'm the head coach and I do a lot, but I'm also just a part of it. All my assistant coaches, all the players and all the work they put in. But it's been really great. But you do have to, like I said, you got to enjoy it, but you also got to realize that you got to move on, move forward, and get ready for what's coming up next.
Well, Coach, put in perspective, I mean, and it's not just the football field where you guys have seen success for Frankfurt Athletics the last couple of years. Got that baseball state championship, too. This collection of athletes and these guys, is this a group that you kind of caught on to in the middle school level and thought, I might have a group of players that are coming this way that I can really compete with? I mean, when did you know that this collection of characters could be one that delivers all this athletic success for Frankfurt?
I don't know that I ever did. I mean, you got good kids coming, a lot of times, but, until I actually see them, a lot of things change. Their work ethic can change, and some of them don't come out after middle school, so you really don't know what's going to happen. But as they come up, you hope and pray that, if they buy into your system and they work hard, that you're going to have success. And these group of seniors who have had all this success, and the kids even last, the 24 teams and the, baseball had, was in 3 straight, I believe, championships. Mm-hmm. All these kids and the seniors of those teams, they were great leaders on and off the field, which is huge. You got to have that. They had a great work ethic. They were selfless. That's one of the biggest things that I preach is selfless, because you're never going to have a winning team if you have unselfish coaches and players. And, our kids embrace that selfless attitude. And like this coming into this 25 season, I told the kids that, they had to make their own mark. They couldn't ride the coattails of 24. And, coming into it, that I think we would be in the championship. I did not. It's nothing against my kids. I just know the competition that's out there. I know how hard it is to get there. So to get there, they wanted it really bad because they were just determined to make it back to the championship. And it was just such a joy to watch to go 14-0 like we did 2 years in a row, and to be able to do it again last year after we lost our entire line. We only had 4 starters, and that's on either side of the ball. So to have to replace your whole line and to do that again and repeat undefeated, it's something that's really special.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm always interested to talk to coaches in the summertime, and obviously this flex day thing, you guys have settled into it, and I guess you've probably experimented through the years and figured out what works best for your team and your program and your school. So what's your approach to the summer with the flex days?
Well, you'll probably be flabbergasted, but I think we're allowed to have like 32 flex days, and that's including your 7-on-7s and your, if you go out in the field and all that kind of stuff. I'm not one to – I know a lot of people use all of them. They're out there all the time. I've never been one to do that. I feel like the kids need a break. A lot of our kids play 3 sports. They never get a break, and they're always on the go, and some of them work, and they're always doing something. And I don't want to burn them out. I want them to come into football fresh, ready to roll, so I don't ever overdo it. I'll be honest with you. We did 2 7-on-7s, and we've had 4 or 5 flex practices, and we're going to have 2 or 3 next week, and then that's the end of it. Like, I've never done it that way. And, we have success without going overkill with it. And, that's my plan to continue doing the same type of thing moving forward.
So
we go in the weight room and lift and condition and all that.
Yeah.
But as far as the flex out on the field, I don't kill them with it.
Yeah, again, the smaller schools that you share all schools share athletes, but it seems like single and double A level, you share more athletes maybe than some of the bigger schools. How many of these kids, how many of your boys are out playing Legion baseball right now?
Oh, I'm sure there's a few of them. I'm not exactly sure who all does, but I'm sure there's some of them that do for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you expand on that a little bit more, Coach? I got to do a Potomac Valley post-14 game or post-64 game last week, and I saw Blake Jacobs have a really great day at the plate. I imagine you're kind of an old school guy. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Coach, that you enjoy having multi-sport athletes on your team, right?
Yes, I am old school, and I'm almost 59 years old, so I'm a little bit older. But yes, I love those kind of kids, and I love multi-sport kids. I think that they, are the best kind to have. They're used to being in competition and stressful situations. And you look at all the, Blake Jacobs, all the sports he's played and the job he's done and how he led our team this year. And, he was contemplating not playing football his senior year. And, I didn't beg him. I just said, look, I get it because, he's going to be a college baseball player. And I think he's afraid to get hurt. He wanted to, and, right about July, right at the beginning of July, he told me he was going to play, which I'm so thankful he did because, without him, I doubt we can go on and win the championship like we did. It takes a whole team, but he brought a lot to the table.
So with this success, I would imagine interest in the program's probably at an all-time high. Is that a safe statement? Do you have more kids maybe now than you did 4, 5, 6 years ago?
Coming into this year, probably not. We're probably lingering right about 50, 9 through 12 if they all stay out. Now, the last 2 previous years, we've had, up in the 60s, 65, 66, but we're down to about 50 right now. And I mean, that probably happens at some schools, and people do ask me that all the time, but I don't think, I've been part of successful teams at Frankfurt for a lot of years, and we might get a couple kids out of the school, but it doesn't bring out a whole lot. The kids that are going to play, and that's usually how it works.
Now, Coach, the other side of that success is, the more successful you are, the less willing teams are to play you. So I'm looking at your guys' schedule. It looks like you're getting Independence to come up there. That's going to be a great game. You're going to Wahama. Are you finding it a little bit harder to fill the schedule? And it seems as though you're picking up some teams to really challenge you guys this year.
Yeah, it is. It's getting hard. It has gotten hard the last 2 years, and I hate it because of the traveling. There's teams in Double-A that are within a couple hours of us that I would love to play, and it's unfortunate. I hate that we have. I'm glad we're playing Wahama and Independence. Don't get me wrong. I just wish it was closer. I love that we're playing them, but when we go to Wahama on a bus, it's going to be about 4.5. The following year, when we go to Independence, it's going to be about 4.5 or 5, and that's on a Friday night. So it just makes it difficult.
Yeah, Wahama, can you get there from here?
I don't know if we can or not.
A couple of layovers in there, yeah.
Well, again, it's been an incredible run, and obviously you've looked ahead, and you've got. I'm sure the message to the kids is, okay, you've had your fun, you've had your celebrations, that's all over. Let's look ahead to this year. So, how much do you have back? What will be the strengths of this year's team?
Well, we have about 6 returning starters on both sides of the ball, so that's a good place to start. Like I said, last year we only had 4, and that was a total on offense and defense. So we have 6 that definitely started on offense and defense. We have 3 other ones that started just on defense. So when you have that nucleus coming back, you can't ask for any more than that. And the thing that it's going to really hurt us is our depth. We don't have a ton of depth anywhere. We've had more depth the 2 previous years than we do this year. So, football, you never know who's going to get down with injury. Hopefully, God will be with us and nobody will go down. But having those returning starters, and there's a mixture. We have a few on the line, a few in the backfield, and, having that experience. A lot of these kids that are coming back, a handful of them got to play in both state championship games. So that's really good to have back.
Very good. Well, it won't be long. I hope you still have time to get a vacation in here in July.
Well, I had emergency gallbladder surgery about 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to go to Disney World this week with my daughter, and I hate that I couldn't go, but I had that bunch of pain on a Sunday night and went to the hospital and had to have the gallbladder about 4 or 5 days later, and a hernia. They fixed it while they were in there, so I've been a little under the weather.
Wow. Everything okay? Everything check out okay?
It's good. I just hate it because I can't cut grass. I can't ride my bike. I can't. All the stuff I want to do, I can't do it.
You got to take it easy. Absolutely.
And I want to wrestle Nick Bardick, so I got to get healed up for that. So.
Yeah. Well.
Looking forward to it.
Exactly. Take a few weeks to rest and then get back into the training, and we'll be there for that.
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be on MetroNews TV, no doubt. Coach, again, thanks. Great catching up with you. Congratulations on the success there, and we're looking forward to talking to you during the season.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Coach Kevin Whiteman there of Frankfurt.
He was one of the more bashful guys when they get down to the state championship games again, because I looked at the article around this time last year, Joe Mercado doing what he does and goes out and covers it, and he kind of threw the brakes out there early. He said, hold on a second. We lost a lot. We don't know what this season's going to look like. Let's calm down. and then they just kept winning and kept winning and kept winning, and they make the postseason, and they're a favorite to win it again, and they do. I mean, that just speaks to the program, the culture. I think it was, 7-8 straight years for them making the postseason, so a lot of good things happening in Ridgely.
We'll take a break. This is the CityNet statewide sports line. We're inside the Health Plan studios since 1979. The Health Plan is called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan. We are here for you.
WVU Medicine's Reconstructive Urology program offers expert, personalized care for complex conditions, from trauma and strictures to erectile dysfunction and incontinence. Our nationally recognized specialists use advanced techniques, including robotic surgery and prosthetic implants, to help you reach your goals. Schedule your consultation today at 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/urology.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat
MetroNews
because
this
you
morning.
love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Of course, the LVAD was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
CityNet statewide sports line for this Friday. Thanks for joining us. 304 Talk 304. The text line is open. We've got a couple of texts in here. Texter says, I went to law school with the dad of Royals up-and-comer Jack Caglianone. Did I say that right? I think I got that right.
Close enough.
We were good friends. Jack is having a great year, but I wonder if he's eligible for Rookie of the Year since he came up mid-season last year. That is correct. He's not eligible.
Yeah, Caglianone's not eligible just because he played so much last season. But he's going to be a great player.
Right. Texter is correct. He's having an excellent year, and he's got numbers similar to JJ, about 260. He's hitting 14 home runs, 34 RBI. So, that's the Texter went on to say it's a hard name to pronounce. That's why his dad was just Cags.
I think it's just Caglione, and if the texter wants to correct me, but it reads Caglianone or something like that. But, yeah, I'm sure we're butchering it. My apologies.
304 Talk 304 texter asks, I know it may seem early and off topic a bit, but are there any plans to hold a September 11th memorial during the Saturday, September 12th game, especially in honor of Chris Gray? So hard to grasp that it will be 25 years since we lost 2,977 souls that morning. Correct, including Chris Gray in one of the World Trade Center buildings.
And I will say I had the honor to do just one WVU football game on the radio in college with U92, and it was Long Island, and they did a 9/11 in memoriam between quarters of that game, and that was not on a milestone year, so I imagine WVU would do something.
And again, Chris Gray, it's hard to believe it's been 25 years, but Chris Gray was a great one and a great guy to talk to. And one of the all-time great Mountaineers. So I'm sure they will do something to honor the memory of Chris Gray and the others that were lost on that day. Okay, awkward transition, but back to the poll. We've got results. So our picks, the MetroNews pick to win the Big 12 Conference, Texas Tech, atop of the poll with 78 points. Texas Tech has 3 first-place votes and 2 second-place votes. Number 2, BYU with 75 points, 2 first-place votes, 3 second-place votes. So it's unanimous, at least among our small group, that it'll be a rematch in the Big 12 title game, Texas Tech and BYU.
There is no title game this year, right? Didn't they get rid of it?
No, not this year. They'll get rid of it if the playoffs expand.
Oh, okay, that's right.
If they go to 24, they'll get rid of the Big 12 Conference Championship game. All right, number 3 in the poll is Houston. Number 3 is Utah. Utah's number 3. See, I'm not as high on Utah. I had Utah at 8.
I just like that they kept the bones of the defense intact. They promoted the defensive coordinator. Dampier being there. When you have a quarterback that you know can be an 800,000-yard rusher, that sets a pretty high floor. So that's why I had them that high.
So Utah, we had them pick 3rd on 2 ballots and 4th on 2 ballots, and then there's me, who's the outlier. So Utah, number 3, was 66 points. Houston, who I had 3rd, Houston had 2 third-place picks, a 4th-place pick, a 6 and a 7, so they're pretty polarizing. But their 4th in our poll was 64 points. So Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, and Houston. Arizona is 5th with 61 points. Arizona was picked as high as number 4, which was by me, and as low as number 7, which was by Greg Carey. So Houston, number 4, Arizona at number 5. Kansas State at number 6 with 54 points. TCU at number 7. I'm pretty high on TCU. I had them at 6, so a little bit higher. TCU with 53 points, number 7. Arizona State in 8th place with 44 points. Oklahoma State, 9th. And, Luke, you had them number 5 in your poll.
That was I the highest one?
So, yes, we had a 5, an 8, a 9, and 2 11s with Oklahoma State.
A lot of variance there.
Yes. West Virginia at 10. Now, I was the most optimistic here with the Mountaineers. I had West Virginia 9th. We had 2 10s and 2 12s. So that's an average of 10th place with 32 points. Baylor 11th with 29 points. Cincinnati 12th with 27 points. UCF 13 with 23 points. Kansas 14, Colorado 15, and Iowa State 16. So there it is. There's the completely worthless MetroNews preseason Big 12 picks.
Problem is, I mean, you can make a case, and I'm not being hyperbolic, for 7 or 8 different teams, realistically, to have a good season and make it to the Big 12 championship game. So much variance, transfer portal, roster turnover, and that's why they did away with the media poll. But some of us like doing our jobs and researching and doing the poll. and here we are.
Yeah, so there's the poll. Last night, I know you're, I'm sure you're the biggest, maybe the only Washington Wizards fan in the company.
I would imagine so.
There's a big night last night. Debanza against Peterson in the Summer League game.
Yeah, top 2 overall picks went head-to-head. Debanza ties the record for the most points in a Summer League debut for a first overall pick. He had 27. Blake Griffin had 27. John Wall, I think, had 24 back when he made his debut. I thought he thoroughly outplayed Peterson. My very truncated thoughts, Peterson got to play first last week, and Utah Jazz fans acted like it was the second coming of Michael Jordan, and they were expecting him to dog walk Debanza, and it didn't happen. He looked great at the rim, great defensively. He had a credible dunk in the game. Neither of them shot the ball incredibly well, but Peterson also, I believe he turned the ball over 8 times, and he committed 9 fouls, which should not be the case in the Summer League, but here we are. I think Peterson's still going to win Rookie of the Year because the Jazz are just going to let him take as many shots as he wants. Debanza is going to be a part of a Washington Wizards team that actually thinks they can make the playoffs. But it was a ton of fun to watch. As a Wizards fan, I do not regret them taking Debanza with the first overall pick. I think he's going to have a long career.
Wemby gets $250. Talk about JJ's contract extension. Wemby got $252 million today.
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama signs that extension. All this talk that he was going to take a pay cut so they could build around him. Nope. 5 years, $250 million. I don't blame him.
And the first World Cup semifinal is set. Spain really got pushed to the edge there by Belgium.
Yeah, Michael Moreno, back-to-back matches. He was able to score late to win. 2 huge quarterfinal games tomorrow. Norway against England, Argentina against Switzerland. It's going to be a ton of fun. World Cup final is not this Sunday, but the next.
So that's winding down after a long tournament, and we've got 2 semifinal round games left, right?
Yeah, the 2 quarterfinals tomorrow, then we'll have the semis, and then the final.
Very good. All right, thanks for coming in. Thanks for participating in the poll.
Happy to be here.
And that's another week on the Sportsline. It'll be Greg and Travis returning on Sunday. We hope you'll join them then.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.